obviously played really well in our last game. Good homestand for us, and facing a Cal team that we had success with, but it was 2 close games. Very physical team. And we got to be really tough tomorrow night.
Jamie Vinnick, go ahead.
Coach, how's it going?
Great.
I had to ask, I think it was Deshaun's Snapchat story last night. Saw Muhammad moving around in crutches. Do you have an update on that?
I think he's ready to go. I don't know.
Just all
I really don't have an update, but
when he hurt his ankle,
just a little, rolled it a little bit. Should be fine.
It seemed kind of on the surface. There was a little odd that you guys end up as the 7th seed instead of the 6th. Did they kind of give you an explanation as to how that all played out and why you were below Washington in the seeds?
I have no idea. I didn't realize. I just realized we're 7th right now. Is that right?
Yeah.
What is it? Something like they played Arizona State once, went 1-0, and we went 1-1. I guess. I don't know. It's silly. Let me pontificate, if that's the right word. Why do we have a net? Why is there these net rankings if you're not going to use them? If you have these kind of tiebreakers, we didn't play the same team the same number of times. They played them at home. That seems like a crappy way to sort it out. It seems like, because they emphasize our strength of schedule and getting a good net, make sure our net's good. Well, if we're going to do that, let's utilize it. Let's make that a tiebreaker, in my opinion, and protect your higher net teams so they have a better chance to advance. How's that sound?
That works for me. And just kind of, I guess, in the same thing, they just announced the Pac-12 awards. Mo was not named Freshman of the Year. In your eyes, kind of a spurning in that regard, but with no disrespect to Harrison.
No, I think that was a coin flip. I think if there was a case for Muhammad that it's hard to, I just think he's an elite defender. Not to say that Harrison's not a good defender. I just think Mo's pretty elite there with his size, length, and understanding. But Harrison's a really good player, and I think a co-freshman of the year would have been probably the right answer, but it doesn't work that way. So he'll be okay.
And just with that, Mike makes 2nd team. Mo is all freshman, and then FA honorable mention defensive team. Just for those guys to kind of get that honor, especially with Mike, who's had such a journey, and then really did so much for this program even in his 1 year.
Yeah, no, that's a heck of to be considered one of the top 15 players in the league in 1 year is amazing and deserved, just statistically, and what he's meant to our program and our team. And if we could have got him, maybe a month earlier, like I said, with a couple of COVID bumps hurt us, I think he'd even be a little better. But that's about right too. I mean, I looked at it, I was thinking he's gonna get 1st team. But then, it's close, and there's good players in this league always.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this week.
All right, thanks, Jim.
Colin Clark, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how's it going?
Great.
You didn't have Deshaun in the last 2 meetings against Cal. How key is he in this matchup against those guys? I know they kind of got the bigger posts.
Yeah, it's very key against them because Tiemann is a brute. He really, I don't know if people know, like, he's strong. You're going to feel him the whole game. He's very physical. They are as well. I think they're a strong physical team. And so having Deshaun with his size, length, weight, width will help us, regardless how he plays. You just got to keep them off keep Tiemann off the glass. Because he's pretty relentless.
Last week you said the team spent time addressing the issue on offense. What did that kind of entail? Was it mostly about making the extra pass, or I think you had said something about giving up the good shots for great shots instead?
I mean, it's been a year-long thing, but we have to do it with mostly film, just looking at what we can improve on. And what's a good shot, what's a bad shot. I think, like I said, I've been talking about it, like the maturation of our program. That's the details we should be getting into. We just haven't. We had added quite a few new guys. We've had a lot of injuries, so we haven't been able to. But we want to make sure we're competing hard enough And so I think we've been better offensively. Sometimes we've slipped defensively a little bit, to be honest. So it's hard to get both going. But that's the next phase. We need to be, we've taken care of the ball this year. That was just like, we had to be like, let's make sure we get shots. Now we're taking some too many bad ones. And this time of year, teams do get better, should get better, especially offensively. It's hard to keep that defensive intensity when you're on the road in a conference tournament and that stuff, trying to be as good there. But we need to be.
Does it seem like everybody's pretty well rested now and kind of as healthy as you would like at this time of the year?
Yeah, I think so. It's still, we're coming off of 10 games in 24 days, and we had a Sunday off, and that's it. Really, we played Saturday, had Sunday off, and practiced yesterday. So we'll do a little stuff today too. But that was good. We hadn't had a day off in 3 weeks. So, but I thought we were pretty frisky yesterday at practice and seemed to be refreshed.
And not to get too ahead of myself here, but how much are you pointing to last year's, Pac-12 tournament, just the unpredictable nature of it? And I think Oregon State had, a similar record to what you guys have this year when they went into that thing.
We hadn't talked about it, but I mean, that was kind of just watching it last year. We talked about it a lot, that how thin the margins are. And, we could have been that last year. We were a little off that, but maybe we have something going here. I feel like we're playing better, especially after coming off the Oregon game. I'll be excited to see how we do. I said, like, Cal's kind of unique. I think I said they're good defensively. They're strong perimeter, strong day. So we better bring a good effort.
Thanks a lot. Good luck down there.
Thanks, Cole.
Dylan, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Right now, some prognosticators have you guys, kind of sitting pretty in the NIT. I know it's not something you're probably thinking of right now, but how important it is for a team like this and a group like this to get a postseason chance wherever it may be?
Great. I mean, we're very humbled by the opportunity if it happens. It's only happened, I think, 5 times in Washington State basketball history. So we're not ones to snub our nose at anything, and to be considered. And I think if you're the 5th place team in a Power 5 conference with 11-9 record, I think that's usually that should do it. And I tend to think that Colorado should be in the NCAA tournament, and no one seems to be talking about it. They beat a number 1 team. They're 20-12, and I wish this. I'll be honest, like watching the WCC talk about 4 teams and 2 teams with six losses in the tournament. I coached that league a long time. If you had 2 losses, you're out. But I'd like to see Pac-12, and we did so well last year. I'd like to hear more people discuss it. I know that doesn't matter with the committee people, but or the what do the pundits say, but it could influence them. So I'd be tickled if we didn't win this tournament that we'd be in there. So hopefully we do.
In terms of
net matters. Does net matter? Anyway.
In terms of how the bracket broke down, you guys on the same side is hopefully maybe getting an opportunity with a couple quad 1 opponents and having Arizona in the championship. Were you guys kind of happy as a staff of how the bracket played out?
Well, once you advance, regardless, it's gonna be a quad 1. I guess if you're the 4th seed. Colorado was a 4th seed. I guess you were 5th, then maybe you wouldn't. But you just know it's going to be good teams and just want to advance this time of year. And just it's a quick turnaround. And that second game, now it goes 1 of 2 ways. Usually, if you won and played well the night before, you've got a little mojo, you got some juice. They'll have the advantage of having fresher legs. The second half, you're going to have to, I've seen this too many ways, but hopefully we can. We're just focused on trying to get Cal, get number 19.